Well, after sustaining an ankle injury from carrying 40 to 50 pound bags, I definitely had to get that weight down, and I did that with a lot more new gear, down gear, and I'm going to show you guys the loadout that I'm using here. We're going to go over everything, including food. This is as low as 22 pounds without food and water, up to 28 pounds with food and 64 ounces of water. There's this new sleeping bag, there's this hammock that I want to talk about a little bit more, and one of my favorite things that I think everybody should have, a down suit. That thing is really nice for extending your sleeping bag range without getting a new bag. And we're also going to just go over some of the little tiny micro bits that are packed in here or there. Now, these are not reviews, just going over what's in the bag. This is a Marmot Wind River -10F bag at 4 pounds and 4 ounces. Got the sway hammock that weighs in at about 3 ounces. It's warmed down to about 30 degrees. And I've got this new way of packing that I call lazy stuff because I hate setting up camp and breaking down camp. And having down gear really makes doing this a lot easier. With my old setup, there's no way I could do this. I needed bungee cords with my old setup because I was taking 2 sleeping bags, 3 sleeping pads at times. Let's talk about the down gear. This has been one of my favorite things. These booties, hoodies, all the different things. The pants I've been using, actually mostly fishing so far because I've injured my ankle, so I've been sitting down a lot. And the pants have been smashed down in my fishing suit there, along with the boots. And I couldn't believe it that they, no problems, they came back to their fluffiness. I had no issues with it getting compacted. You guys, I've also left all of my down gear compacted for 1 week on 2 separate occasions, just to see what would happen in it, if it would go back to its original state. Had no problems with it. Really like the down booties there. I don't have to worry about sleeping socks anymore. Keeps my feet overly warm. If anything, the down pants here actually kept it too warm. On 2 occasions camping, I had to take them off. Now, if you can only afford 1 piece of down gear, I would say the hoodie is probably one of the best things to do, because the hoodie really can affect other pieces of clothing. For example, when you put the hoodie on, it locks the heat in around your chest from escaping. So all of a sudden you feel like your jacket just upgraded and you feel all this extra warmth around your chest area. And if you can keep your chest warmer, well, then everything else is going to be warmer, all your appendages and your fingers and arms. So I absolutely recommend the down hoodie. This is from Goose Feet Gear Down. Top quality stuff, ultra light. And when I zip it up around my neck, I can still breathe. It's not too tight. Again, guys, I can't tell you how much more that warmth that adds. So if you had to just get 1 piece, I would say the hoodie would be a great addition. And the pants made it overly warm. You could probably add about 10, I would say, to 15 degrees onto your how cold can you go? How much extra can you add onto your cold? Probably a better way of saying that. But absolutely, you want to get the down suit. I even take it in the warmer weather now. And that's from Goose Feet Gear Down. You can find them in the description and comments below. Now I'm just going to stuff that into the Marmot sleeping bag, along with the Patagonia down vest, North Face down jacket, 850 fill, and some smart wool socks, an extra pair of those. And then the down pants. Now that sleeping bag there is 650 fill down. And some down leggings from Starter, just cheap ones. Really like those. And just stuff it in there a little bit. Now I'm just doing a quick stuff for you guys. I could even compact that even a little bit more. And zips right up, something I really like about that hammock. Using a Roam 65-liter bag. Now this is more traditional, larger pack, like an Osprey or a Gregory. Lots of padding, which I've become accustomed to loving. I have my gun holster on the side of it. We'll talk about that later at the end of the video. Huge bag though, really able to stuff everything in here. And this is my new way. I save 7 to 8 ounces in dry bags. It just compacts down really easy, and it compacts down less than using these stuff sacks. I'm able to set up camp easier. I'm able to break down camp easier. Just pull it right out of the bag. It doesn't have to touch the ground at all when you're taking it off of a tree or putting it onto a tree. You can just pull it right out of your bag. So this is my new way of doing it. Ultra light, ultra easy. Now, one thing I like about that hammock, again, is zips up. A lot of people talk about war bonnets and other hammocks. While I haven't used them, mine zips up, and I really like that. Got a new pair of Gaiters this year. Since I blew through the orange ones, they burned up a little bit. We're going to put in 64 ounces of water, a tarp, and my bear string. Also still using the Columbia Bugaboo pants, I think. These things have been beat up over the years. I get on the ground a lot. They've seen a lot of just complete abuse, and they're still chugging along, so I really like the Columbia stuff. You won't feel bad about putting in a hole in Columbia gear, I'll tell you that. Tarp is another thing that I did not show here. Really like tarps for one time I forgot water. I had to literally melt snow because I am an idiot. Forgot water. So that tarp became really easy to carry the snow back. The tarp can also be used as cordage. You can carry wood in it. There's a lot of reasons you might like a little tarp, not a big one, just a little one. This is my fire kit. Although I've changed it up just a tiny little bit. I use candles a little bit more now than I used to. You don't need an expensive $20, $30 waterproof bag. A little Ziploc baggie is going to be fine. And if you feel bad or scared about that, get 2 of them. And perfect waterproofing, ultra light. This is my cook set, Brs Titanium 550 milliliter ultra light. You can actually cook 2 ramens in here if you crunch them down, or 1 ramen and some meat. It can hold 4 ounces of fuel perfectly. And that's 2.6 ounces with the lid. I think it goes down to 2.2 without it. So lightweight. Really just a great lifetime purchase there if you treat it right. Sea to Summit towel. I really like towels that have a ring on there so you can kind of get them off the ground, hang them on things. And then I've carried a little bit of alcohol. Gotten pitched on my hands so many times. It works as fire starter. So just a tiny little bit of alcohol. It's a nice little thing. I lost my titanium spoon. I'm not about to buy another one just because I'm being cheap. So taking the light plastic one. And this is the traditional Brs Titanium Stove. There's a number of different brands that sell it. Just buy the cheapest titanium stove that you can find. They're all the same one. They're all bought on resellers anyways. And then I've got some mouthwash, toothpaste, little tiny toothbrush, pain pills, packs into this Sea to Summit dry bag. Super, super light. North Face outer shell. This is kind of heavy, but it's a bulletproof, waterproof outer shell. Then I've got my food here. We're going to pack that into a scent-proof bag. These things are amazing. Left those out for about 6 months with meat and stuff in it, and I live in the country. And full of cats, all kinds of stuff around us. Never went inside. The bag, you couldn't smell the rotting food from the outside, so really amazing scent-proof. And then I've got the heat-making bag that you can make by yourself. Heat-making bag, that's what it's called. I'm going to link that in the description. Darwin on the trail can show you how to build one of those. Really great for keeping your food warm and actually carrying it. And so I really like that bag. Take all my snacks, stuff it in, fold it up, and I ended up hanging that in the tree. And I always got my Pabst beef jerky with me. Goes with me on every trip, blazing Cajun. But yeah, I just hang this thing in the tree. It's a very strong bag. And I got coffee. Kuju coffee, the best coffee. We're going to do a coffee shootout, so look forward to the coffee shootout. And then, as I said, that will just get hung in a tree. That bag is so durable that you could fill it full of water to the top and it won't rip. And then we just stuff some gloves. I've just got some outdoor research gloves, little thing for my neck, little hat, fleece hat, another pair of just glove liner type thin gloves. I always recommend having 2 pairs of gloves. For my electronics, they go into a 3-liter dry bag. Anker 20,000 mAh battery, little tiny memory card in there. Plastic bag, man, free waterproofing almost. And then I got a Vaunt headlamp I really like. This is like $16 and you get 2 of them. High quality, one of the brightest lights I got. For $16, you can't beat the price. So that's a Vaunt headlamp, and this just gets stuffed in there, rolled up a little, and that will go in the top of my bag. I often drape the cord out of there so I can have the cord plugged into my phone and have the battery just sitting up there. There's so much room though, plenty of room. This thing isn't even close to full. I also have been using Revivos, eyeglasses, and hand warmers. 4 ounces of hand warmers are in there. Now for the guns people, I use a side holster. Really like this. It's loaded with 220 grain bear load, 10 millimeter. Sometimes it gets a little sore on the waist, but I really like that. When I am hiking though, the gun, as you'll see in the end of the video, actually goes on my waist. This is for when I'm at camp and I'm not using the bag. And I do like it. It doesn't point at your stomach and stuff when you're bending over. Then I have the Woodsman's Pal, which I love a lot. It is one of the sponsors of the channel, but I honest to God love this thing. Packed onto the side, it is pretty heavy, almost 2 pounds, but if you're going winter backpacking or backpacking in the cold, fire is so essential to me and so needed. This thing is just so much fun to use, so much cooler than a axe. It can do a lot more. You could shave wood shavings with it better than almost anything. And you can shave them in 2 different kind of ways. You can kind of hold it at the end there. You can and get these nice thin shavings. And then you can use that little hook. And now this is either apple or cherry, so it's super hard. It's not meant to do this with. But you can see, you can just get some great stuff. And it's cooler than an axe. So that's Woodsman's Pal. It's also made in America completely. Everything from the sheath to the handle is 100% American made. Just an awesome outdoor tool. Keep you really warm. You can chop wood with it. So this is going to be my go-to winter tool. Look at that. Look at those wood shavings. Now, things like that are really important to me because I wasn't really that great at getting them with my knife, and this just makes it so much easier. I also have switched over to using mittens. This would actually be the 3rd pair of gloves that I take. Light, you can just get a cheap pair. Even a cheap pair will keep you pretty warm. Having your fingers close together right next to each other, it keeps them a lot warmer than separating your fingers like you would in a normal pair of gloves. So I was really impressed with those. Easy to put on. And they warm your hands just so much faster. And then on the side of the bag, this is where I put my medical kit. It's in 2 different Ziploc bags. You see me, even if I was rich and I was sent ultralight bags, I still would probably take these. Because these I know are waterproof for a fact. I've tested it out. And they're even lighter than any ultralight bags. So I'm really a big fan of these Ziploc bags. And I color code them. So this is my medical kit. I'm actually going to show you the whole medical kit and what's in there, because I think a lot of people maybe take too much. And you really just need enough to clean, bind a wound up, tape it up. Now, just in case you can't get your stuff out and you're that messed up, what if you were going to freeze? I do have an emergency blanket. That way, if you're laying on the ground and, like I said, you're that messed up, you can't even get your sleeping bag out, you can use that. You can also use it as cordage. Then I've got some gauze and tape to bind up the wound and tape it up. And then an assortment of things for cleaning the wound, like those ear cleaner things. Moist towelettes, sting relief pad, alcohol pad, another alcohol pad, another towelette, tiny bandages, normal size bandages, a bigger gauze pad, a little gauze pad, antibiotic cream, aspirins, more antibiotic cream, and then more stuff, Sun X, just in case you get some sunburn. Burn X, which I've used. I really like that stuff. Comes in handy. Definitely recommend it. One of those bandages. And then a lot more antiseptic things. You can't have enough antiseptic swabs. If you're going to have too much of anything, let it be those. Making sure you can get your wound clean. And then I want to show you guys how I would just bind up a wound. Let's say you got a nice gash on your leg that's really bleeding pretty good. You're going to clean it up first. With that stuff, then you're going to put some ointment on it. And then you're going to get your gauze pad. You're going to put that on it. And then you're going to take that white thing and wrap it all around it. And then you're going to tape it up with this guy right here. And if it's even really bad, you get the emergency blanket out and wrap it with that too. Then you're good to go. If you're worse off than that, you got big problems, got much bigger problems. So again, don't take too big of a medical kit. If you need, again, a bigger medical kit than that, you're not going to last long. Now, this doesn't always go with me, but it's one of my favorite lights, Dorsey headlamp. Pretty inexpensive, USB chargeable, super bright, lasts a really long time. USB chargeable things are really expensive too, so pretty impressive. And then getting everything in there, you can see the bag isn't even close to stuffed. There's tons of room up top. Look at all the room that I've got on those cords there. I mean, you really could stuff this so much more. And I like this back clothing kind of thing here. I'm so bad with words. It's got kind of a lid at the top. So if like debris was to fall onto it, it wouldn't be falling into into a pocket. It's just a really nice bag. And I've found more comfort with this than I have with ultralight bags. I'm really surprised to say that. You're going to see me review this in depth a lot more in a full review. But it's just really well built. You can pick it up in a variety of different ways. I love those hooks at the top. The comfort level is way better than the ultralight bags that I've tried. I'm now a fan of getting a little bit heavier of a backpack and having more cushion and not just minimizing everything. I know it's really cool to have like a 10, 15 pound bag or lighter. And some of them I bet might even be really comfortable. I haven't tried I think, Mariposa. I'm not sure which it is, but anyways, now I'm starting to rant. This just fits really comfortable, and it doesn't wiggle when you got it on. Make sure you pull this down too. You see those two cords right there? I see a lot of people on YouTube. That part just is swinging around. It's got like 6 inches of space. You guys, you got to pull that down, lock it in, cinch it in, get it tight to your body. You're going to find that you've got more control, more stable back. This bag also doesn't hurt my chest like some of the ultralight ones. I felt like they were hurting my chest a bit. Now we're going to talk about gun stuff. Now, normally when I'm at camp, I'm going to be using the holster there. Make sure that there's no ammo in the gun there. But when I'm hiking, I found that I like this inexpensive holster here to just put on my waist. I can get to the gun really easily. It does point at my body sometimes, which I don't like, but there's a lot of holsters that point at your body at some point. Another reason why I'm a big fan of the leg holsters, but you can see I can get to it real quick. And it's just out of the way, and it feels good there. And it feels like if I was to get knocked over as well, that it would still be there. I'd be able to get to it easily. And, you know, guns are heavy if you don't carry one of these. That thing's 2 pounds with the ammo in it, basically. So you really got to find a good place to put it that's really supportive, because 2 pounds weighing down on like your belt really starts to hurt your hips after a while. But I really like this, and I have no complaints about it. Again, I can get to it really easily, and it just works really well. I'm spending too much time talking about the gun now, but back to the bag. This has been the bag that I'm going to be using again this winter. And yeah, I couldn't find any complaints about it. Look for the reviews on a number of these items really soon.